Hey everybody, Bennett here, and I'm excited to teach you this chord melody lesson for Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. This is loosely based on the Frank Sinatra version. I love his singing on that and on everything really, but really on this song it's incredible, and the orchestration is amazing too. I'm not including all of the chords in the orchestration, but I'm trying to do a banjoistic version of this. And I chose not to wear picks on this just because I like the sound of flesh on the strings instead of the kind of bright sound that you get with picks. But you can do whatever you want on this song. I'm using no picks, but go ahead and use picks if you feel like it. So this is in the key of G, and the form of this song is A, B, A prime. And so A prime is something we don't see a lot in bluegrass, but basically it means that the A section, the final A section at the very end, is a little bit different. It has like kind of a different cadence going on, and that's where we go up to the C, and then B seventh, and then E minor, and then it carries on after that. So it's a little bit different than the previous A's, and we'll get into it in more detail, but I just wanted to make note of that real quick. And the most challenging part in this, at least for me, was the B section. And that's just because it's all chord melody. You're doing a lot of melodies and you're doing a lot of chords. So with all that being said, let's jump right into it. We're going to take a look at the A sections. So the melody of the song is, and then down the G major scale. It's really simple, and it works out great on the banjo because you're using a lot of open strings. You're starting with the third string, and then you're just playing 3, 2, 1, 5. And so you can check out the tab on TuneFox for this. That will help you more clearly see this, and you'll be able to play along with it on there as well. But since we're going over it in this video, you're going up that arpeggio, so, and then you're going down the G major scale like I said before. And I'm doing this in melodic style, but you can do a single string scale down the neck if that's easier for you. I played melodic on this because I like the notes to ring out over each other, and melodic allows you to do that to a certain extent. So you have this. And that's the basic melody. You might notice that that's not exactly what I played. I played a couple chords, or double stops, if you will, two-note chords while I was doing this. And so that sounds like... So I'm playing these fourth string and third string together for that first note, just to give it a little bit more beef and make it sound a little bit more like a chord. And then after I do that melodic scale, I'm playing those two notes together again, and then I'm playing like a D shape, which is a 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then 4th fret, 4th string. And then it repeats that phrase right after you do that. So you can kind of look at it in phrases where the first phrase is Philadelphia, Merry Little Christmas. And then instead of just playing a single D note, which is what the melody is, I'm playing, and I'm doing kind of like a bass run here, if you will. So the melody is ringing on top, and that bass run is kind of happening underneath. So the trick for this is to play that melody loud, and then just kind of lightly play the bass run underneath it. And it's not easy to do, as you can see, I didn't really do it there. But if you can play it, even with a pull-off, you can play those two notes together, and and sometimes I don't even play that 4th string, 4th fret note with my thumb. I just kind of hammer it on there to make it sound more like a ghost note. And then this is where the melody is a little bit different, and it's the 3rd phrase, and it starts on a B. So you're starting on the 2nd string here. It's still a G arpeggio, you're just starting on a different note. And this is where it switches to a C chord on the da 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 boo doo, which again is just down the G scale. This is a lot of our G arpeggios and G scales. So it starts on the C chord, which for me, I was thinking about how to make this a chord melody. So I'm playing this melody note. This is an A, and I'm playing that note with it, which is a C. So I'm trying to outline the chord as best as I can. And you can play like that with this finger barring on the 5th fret, but I really like the sound of just the C and the A together. And then you go into a melodic descending scale, which is so it's like 7th fret, 1st string, and then 5th string, index finger on the 4th fret, 1st string, middle finger on the 5th fret, 2nd string, and then open D string, open 1st string, middle finger on the C, which is on the 5th fret, 3rd string. So after this 3rd phrase, I'm going into what I call the turnaround, or what is called the turnaround, which is B minor, and I'm playing that with just my middle finger on the 4th fret, 4th string, and I'm playing the 4th string and the 2nd string together. And then I'm going to an E minor, A minor, and then a D. So you don't have to do that a specific way. You can copy the way that I did it in the melody arrangement, or you can do it your own way. So that's the first phrase. That's the first A section of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. The second A section is completely the same except for when you get to the 3rd measure, which is where you start on that 2nd string and you go boom da boom da boom. So instead of going and resolving, we're going down to that. That's a D sharp or E flat, however you want to look at it. It's a D sharp in the context of this tune because we're using it over a B7th chord. And I'm barring that 4th fret, 1st and 2nd strings, so I can easily put my hand on the E minor. So basically what we're doing is we're going C, B, E minor. Those are the chords happening underneath this. So you could put more chords under if you want to. But I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I like the sparseness of it at times. And so this is the chord that will start leading us into the B section. Now the first chord in the B section is a C major 7th. And we're playing that all the way up here. But what we're going to be doing to transition to that from the E minor in the A section is going E minor, and then we're going D minor, G, and that fifth string is going to give us time to go up to the C major 7th up here, which is at the 10th fret, 4th string, 12th fret, 3rd string, and 12th fret, 2nd string. So we've got our E minor, D minor, and then G. You can play it like that. I'm playing like a G9 here, or kind of like a shell of a G9. And I'm using that 5th string for the transition up to the C major 7th. So you might want to isolate that for a little bit, just from this position, this G9 position, hitting the 5th string, and then moving up to the C. So this is where it gets a little funky, and you're doing more chords, and you're also playing all of these chords on the inside strings, which means the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So just to look at that passage real quick, the chords that we're playing are C major 7th, B minor, and then we're using a passing chord, which is a B flat minor, to go to an A minor. And you might want to practice just the melody or just the chords first to get it down. So the melody is... Chords are... And there is a D between that A minor and the G chord that I just played. We'll get into that. Okay, so how do you play these two together? Well, you start with the C major 7th. You're trying to bring out the melody note as much as you can. And then you're going from the 12th fret down to the 8th fret, and you're hitting the 10th fret in between it. 10, 8. Then you're going into your B minor chord. So that's after that 8th fret note, then you're going to play. And you're playing that kind of melodic style. So I'm playing B minor, the F sharp, that 7th fret, 2nd string note is my melody note, and then I'm playing the 5th string. And then my pinky is getting that next melody note after the 5th string, which is on the 10th fret. And then this B minor, B flat, this B flat, and then we're going to the B flat minor, which is just a passing chord, so there's no melody. I play that quietly. And then you're doing that kind of same thing with the A minor chord. The melody is on the 2nd string. But you're going E, F sharp, and then 5th string. So 5 on the 2nd fret, 7 on the 2nd fret, 5th string. And then your melody is over a D chord. So that's when I switch to the D chord. 3, 4, 1. So I'll play 4th string open, and then 3rd fret 2nd string, 4th fret 1st string. And then a downward strum to get that melody note on the first string over a G chord. So that's the first part of the B section. I kind of look at it in phrases as I do the A section. And that's the first phrase. It starts on the C chord and moves your way down the neck, basically. That's kind of the way I like to look at it. And then after you hit that G chord, after you're done with the first phrase, you're going to go up to the E minor. So this is kind of the same thing. And the chords for this second phrase of the B section are E minor, B minor, and then A, D, 7th. But you're not going to play the A and the D7th. So this second phrase is a little bit more sparse than the first phrase. Let's go over it. So up until that point, we're just playing chord melody. And I do a hammer on there with my pinky over the B minor chord. And then you're going to transfer into melodic style. Da, boom, da, boom, da, boom. So I'm starting with my index finger on the 7th fret, 2nd string, and I'm putting my middle finger on the 9th fret, 3rd string. And then you're going to go up a D major scale. So that's starting on a D note, D, 1st string open, 9th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, 2nd string, and then 5th string, and then pinky, I play on the 7th fret, 1st string, and then you're getting the octave below that, so I'm getting that on the 7th fret, 4th string. And then we're transitioning down to a D chord. And I'm doing a chromatic walk down phrase there to lead me back into the final A, which is the A prime. So I'm playing that open D, which is just my index finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then I'm playing C sharp, which is 2nd fret, 2nd string. Pinky on the C natural, which is on the 5th fret, 3rd string. And then I'm playing 4th fret, 4th string. And that's a D7th chord, and then back into our A prime. Okay, so that's a lot of information, I know. And I just want to encourage you to take it super slowly, take it by phrase or by section. Check out the tab for this. And now let's look at the A prime section. So A prime is all the same up until that 3rd measure once again. So we've got boom, boom, da, ba, da, ba, da, 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 da. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. And now we're going to go to my favorite phrase of the song. It's like kind of the climax of the song. And it's also a difficult phrase to play on the banjo because what I'm doing is I'm playing a chord, so that's a C chord. I mean, you can look at it a couple different ways. The jazzers in the audience might be like, well, actually it's an F sharp half diminished chord, but you don't have to worry about that. C chord works for this. So I'm playing that C, and then I'm getting my thumb up here. This is the only time we're using our thumb on the 5th string, but I'm getting my thumb up here on the 9th fret. And then index finger on the A, and now we're going to hit the 5th string. So just practice that a little bit. After that 5th string, we're going to put our fingers here, which is over a B7th chord. So I'm putting my middle finger on the 8th fret, 3rd string, my index finger on the 7th fret, 2nd string, and then I'm also barring down to the 7th fret, 1st string. So it sounds like this. And then you resolve to the E minor. Another passing chord, that's an E flat minor. It doesn't really matter what you call it because you're just keeping the same shape and moving it back 1 fret. And you're landing on the D minor 7th or D minor chord. And we're doing that same walk down phrase that we did from when we did the transition from the 2nd A section to the B section. So, and then we're hitting an open B string and then hitting this B on the 1st fret. And then we're hitting this B on the 9th fret 1st string. And that's leading us into the stretch, which is a C major 7th. So that's the final part of it. And yes, I know this is challenging. And I know this is a fast tutorial of how to learn this song. But the tab is available on TuneFox, so you can learn the melody for this and learn the chords with it, and it will help you kind of understand and see what's going on the banjo neck. Chances are you have this melody in your head, which is a great starting point, and all you have to do is kind of put the pieces together. And I encourage you to do this your own way. Like I'm doing it my own way. This is not the way Jens Kruger might do it, or Alan Mundy might do it. I'm just kind of arranging it the way that I find is musical on the instrument. So you can do the same thing. Take elements of what I'm doing. Listen to Frank's recording. It's an A flat, by the way, so you might have to transpose it down. But listen to Frank's recording or Michael Bublé's recording. There's a bunch of different ones out there, and find some different chords that they might be doing that I'm not doing. So I'm playing the basic arrangement, like I said before. There are definitely some more funky chords that you can put in there, more jazzy chords if you want to. So I hope you like this. If you have any questions about it, you can hit me up at support@tunefox.com and I'll get back to you. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you join us over at TuneFox.